When planet Slor got destroyed by an asteroid, 100 adult aliens and their replicants were issued a pupa and they escaped into the space as their planet got destroyed. Now Corvo with his alien family crashed into Earth with no way of escape. 1 year later, the rest of the family getting comfortable living on the Earth. But Corvo did not like the planet. He thinks humans are dumb and it would be way better if he could repair the spaceship and get the hell out. Him, after constructing the Earth trail, goes on to mine nickel alloy. He reaches the core, however, the lava got inside the machine, melting off both his legs. Luckily, he was forced enough to teleport himself back. He waited as his legs grew back. With nothing much to do, him and Terry watches a TV show in which they saw an interesting character, Fun Bucket. Thinking there are other sentient species on Earth, they seek out Fun Bucket. They were disappointed when they found out Fun Bucket wasn't real and couldn't accept this fact, and so Corvo decided to use the quantum injector and create a real Fun Bucket. Meanwhile, at school, Yumilak and Jesse notices they are seen weird by other kids. Getting bullied by Lydia, Yumilak used Shrink Ray on her and kidnaps her. Jesse's not cool with this whole idea and wanted her brother to turn Lydia back to normal. But they knew she wasn't going to keep quiet. Coral and Terry had a great time hanging out with Fun Bucket. But soon at the club, when Corvo and Terry were distracted, Fun Bucket made 2 new friends and decided to turn against his creators. Terry and Corvo got kicked out from the club. Losing Fun Bucket wasn't something which they thought would happen. When Slorpians are on distress, they create these small living beings called the gobblers from their body. Since Fun Bucket had betrayed them, they decided to create another one, but it didn't come out as perfect as the first one. Back at the club, this annoys the crap out of the first one. Now as they come together, both of them merges into one, becoming a gigantic monster, killing everything on its way. The monster destroys the city. After giving it some thought, Corvo decided to do something. They chased after it and was eventually able to shrink it down. The alien children didn't let her go. They kept pouring cola on her brain until she got dumb. Corvo decided to kill Fun Bucket, but Travis and Avery, the friends from before, interrupts, telling that they will look after the poor creature. The next day at school, Lydia is no longer a problem since she is dumber now. However, this janitor who was listening in on their conversation figures out the truth, and so they had no option but to shrink him down. They made a prison to keep the people who they had shrunken from there on out. At the dinner table, it becomes clear the true purpose of the pupa. When the pupa reaches maturity, it will evolve into its true form. It will destroy the planet and rebuild it in the image of their home world, Slorp, using the data stored in its DNA. Corvo and Terry wanted to know what the people in the neighborhood think of them, so they planned to contaminate the city water supply with nanobots, which will help them spy on everyone. And as it turns out, the townspeople hate them, so they made some effort to make the people like them. And then Corvo wanted to run for president, as it seemed to be a great idea, so he can do whatever he wants and no one will ask questions. Yumilak kept shrinking more and more people, filling the wall. Jessie thinks him a jerk. She uses this brain control device on humans, wanting to prove her brother that most humans are good life forms. And she was able to prove the same for a while, that is until she ran out of the devices and everything turns into chaos. In the neo-Nazi ball, everyone turns against them. At ninth point, detecting danger, Yumilak's chute switches into autopilot, going on a killing spree. The nanobots, which was left behind, it became sentient and it runs against Corvo in the election. As the bot argues whom the townspeople should elect, they said out loud everyone's dark and hidden secrets. This led to a fight amongst everyone, and it ends when the old lady Ruth put an end to it, blaming Corvo and the nanobot, gaining the trust of the people. Yumilak continues with his hobby, and inside the walls, the rise of a new civilization. The alien family go for a magic show, and everyone except for Corvo was too excited. Realizing that he could do better, Corvo learns magic. He got famous quickly and he decided to perform a dangerous trick that no one has ever attempted, jumping through a black hole. Now, one of the world's famous magicians pays him a visit, prompting him to not do the trick because this may affect the reputation of the others. But Corvo ignored them and continued with his plan. As they leave, they scheme to kill Corvo during his act, but Jessie overhears their plan. She tries to warn him, but it was of no use. During the show, Yumalai kills the two assassins, but Corvo dies anyway, as he slipped while jumping into the black hole. There was a ceremonial for him at the mountain top. They grieve his death. To honor him, Terry decided to continue his work repairing the spaceship, but turns out Corvo had staged his own death. He did this to bring his family together. Becoming famous as a magician, Corvo soon understood he needed his family, that nothing is more important than that. So he hired the fake magicians for the assassination. Jessie dumps Candy while Yumalai comes up with his next specimen. She is called Sherry. As she got dumped inside, the bandit came at her, attacking, trying to take anything of value. Now Tim saved her from the Badlands and show her around. The prison that the alien kids made are interconnected by terrariums, and there is also a ruler for this civilization. The Duke, who controls the people at the prison, he only has access to the food supply, which is why he has control over them. He then distributes the food to the lower levels. Jessie, the alien girl, she only gives candies to them, so Pedro's father turned into a diabetic and used insulin to survive. Since Pedro was unable to trade anything for the Playboy, he stole it, causing a riot down in the market. Later, they go to the upper level to meet the Duke. Since he is the only one who had access to things, the Duke who rules this prison is the janitor, who was the first person Yumalai put there. He was ready to trade insulin shots for the Playboy. However, since Pedro caused the riot, it spread to the upper levels, and so to show that his actions had consequences, he kills him. Now Tim and Sherry were shoved by this event. They gave the insulin to Pedro's father. Furious and wanting to change things inside the wall, Tim plans to take control.